Hey, what's up, awesome traders of the internet? I hope you guys are off and running. This has been a good week. I know we've had a good week over here so far. Everything's been doing pretty good. I had a pretty long day today because I had um, three shadow mentor sessions. I don't have three in one day because they're like 3 hours a piece almost. But they were spread out pretty good. The first one started when the market opened the night before. Had one in the middle of the night with the guy that's in the UK that likes to trade, and then had one this morning. So it spread out pretty good. But as always, when I'm in these sessions and I think about a message I want to share with everybody, um, that's what prompts me to do a video. And so I'm going to share this, and then I'm going to give you some examples of what I'm talking about. So here, the two hardest tests in trading, that is really going to be the patience that you need to wait for the right moment. And I don't mean just the entry. A lot of people are telling you got to be patient and take the right entry, but you also have to be patient and take the right exit as well. Take the profits target or the stop. Patience is going to be key there. Um, and I know we have a plan. We all come in with a plan. We have our entry, we have our stop, we have our profit target. But we all know the market doesn't care what it is. What our plan is, the market's gonna do what it's gonna do. And so we have to be prepared to be able to read what's happening and make the best decision. And that requires patience. Not if the market just moves against us, don't get mad and take it off because it moved against us a little bit. You got to look at everything that's happening. Look at the chart. Look at the support and resistance levels. Look at how the candlesticks are forming. That's job number one. And also, we need the courage to not be disappointed with the results. Because again, we can have the perfect plan. We know where we want our trade to go. We know where we want to take profit. But it's not always going to get there. And we can't get mad at it. We take what it gives us and then reset, get ready for the next one. And even if it fooled us, still doesn't matter. We still have unlimited opportunities throughout the next coming days to take advantage of it. So, but today, I'm going to focus on the patience part. We'll talk about the courage part later in the week, but the patience part. How do you develop the right patience? And it's all about understanding what's happening in the market at that time. And me trying to teach you using a dead chart, man, I believe me, all of these years I tried it. I've done it as effective as I could. But until you are working with somebody in a live market as it's moving and working with them as they are trading and helping them navigate and develop this patience, then that's the best thing. It's the best thing that I've ever done, and it's the best feeling that I've ever had, like helping people do this. So I can't express enough to you. It doesn't matter who you're working with. Try to get them to work with you while you're trading and talk about what's happening at the time it's happening. Okay, that's the focus that you need. Trying to teach it in a room with, a group of people, having multiple people ask, I used to think, hey, that's great. Maybe somebody will ask a question or whatever. But it just creates confusion because everybody's looking at things a little different. And this way is the best way that I feel. So if you're interested in trying to fast track your trading the right way, the shadow mentoring that I do, again, it's second to none. And I'm even pleased with myself with how quickly people are picking this up and putting down some good solid weeks. It's just amazing. But you can message me at tradingperformancespecialist.com, ed at tradingperformancespecialist.com. You could email me, or my email will be in the description of this video. But to me, this is the way to go. This is the way to go. And I don't know why I didn't think about it sooner. But it is 100% good. And I'm going to show you why. Because we're going to talk about, I'm going to go through the 3 sessions that I had and the trades that we looked at and what you need to pay attention to. So the first thing I do is I'm going to mark the first 5-minute candle, the high and the low. And I'm going to use that as reference throughout the rest of the night and into the morning. Okay, I'm going to use that. So one of the things that we like to take is a 5-minute opening range break. If it breaks below the low, we like to go short. Breaks above the high, we like to go long. However, you have to determine ahead of time whether the market is conducive to an aggressive entry or whether you need to be patient and wait for the market to give you, some type of edge, some type of sign that this is what's about to happen. And so that's basically what we did here. A mentee wanted to go long on this break. And I was like, no, you need to wait for it to confirm and potentially come back and retest. Because you're looking at all of this choppiness going into the open. Look at it. And what I like to do to point this out is, I like to draw this when it starts. And then as the market keeps trading, I just extend this out. Or I'll just extend it out into the abyss and let the price action catch up with it, because inside here, there are no trades. At this point, there are no trades. So if we went long, we had a clear target, R1, S1, perfect. I would like it to go through S1 to S2. I would like the opening volatility to sell it off. So I'm the type person where I would take maybe 2/3 off here and take another third off when it gets to S2. So if I'm in 5 contracts, I'm going to take 3 off and then try to take 2 off down here, or maybe 1 depending on the price action. Everything, I have a plan, but how I execute it depends on the price action. Okay, that's the type trader that you want to get to. Okay, I know when you start, you set a target and then you wait for it to hit. But as you get better, you learn how to read price action. You learn how to determine what's likely to happen next based on the candlestick formations, and then you're able to make good solid trading decisions. And that's what we focus on in here. So what we do is we wait for a confirmed break and then a retest, which we got here. And then once it takes the lows, we get in. Now I know this was from 37.79 down to 37 I had 37.74 is where we put our target. That's 5 points on a 5 contract position. Now, this trader doesn't like to scale out, and in this case, that was the smartest move, because he took all 5 out for $250 profit, and we were done. So next, the question was, do we play the bounce? Me, no. But you can see what happened. It would have been a pretty profitable trade, but it was ill-advised because of what it was trading through. So all of this is resistance to me. All of this. But guess what it did? It went back up, and where did it get stuck again? Where did it get stuck again? Look at it. Where did it get stuck again? So we let it stay around in here. We tried to break out of this. We got a pullback. Now, this is set up for an aggressive move. Okay, and we took this on an aggressive entry because we bounced here. Bam, we bounced here, made a higher low. Higher high, made a higher low. We're riding on the 50 here. So as soon as we got over the 20, we bought. We would have taken it off here if it stalled at R1. We would have just taken it off and then reset. No harm, no foul. But it didn't. Went right up to R1, took his 5 contracts off, and then that was it. We didn't play the bounce. We didn't play this rejection or anything like that. We were done. He's up maybe $600 about now. What's the point in pushing this? Now, we could have taken this trade off of R2 rejection, but we didn't do it. We were still talking and, going over all of this. But this is definitely a trade that we could have taken off of R1. Here's a couple where it wicked out above R2. We had the big rejection candle here. We still can't really make a higher high. So we get in here and we look. Now for me, I'm going to take profit here. I'm going to look to take profit here and then finish the trade at S1. Well, my mentee, this is where he's taken off once. So if we had started to bounce here and, started to build here, and how do we tell that? We look at the 1 minute chart. We use the 1 minute chart to tell us what's going on here. And what do we need to be patient with this 5 minute candle, or do we need to wait? And so we got our patience. He was able to take it off here. He would have been able to take it off here. But again, we didn't take this trade. Another one of my traders took it, but not the one in the session. But this is where he would have taken profit. Me, I would have just kept going. But we didn't take that trade. That's fine. But guess what? Look at this. All throughout the night. All throughout the night. And I stayed on a little bit longer with him, through this. So now I'm getting ready to get in at 1 o'clock with the new guy. And, this is what we're looking at. And I'm telling him, okay, look, I don't know if you've been watching. Look at how this has been trading kind of inside the 5-minute opening range. This is typically what we look at. This right here is the channel that we just want to stay out of right now, because this is where all of the volatility is. Look at it. Look at these ugly candlesticks. Ugly. So we have a market opening up, and we tested it once, twice, third time's a charm. We're going to buy the third break. And if it doesn't work, if it's stalled out here and started to pull back, we would have bailed on it. And then if it broke out, we would have gone ahead and got back in. We would have already taken a little bit of profit here, and then we just added back onto it. But so this is what we did. This is the chart trade that he took. Got in. Third time's a charm. Did not quite get to R2. You can see how close it got. Didn't quite get to R2. Started to pull back. Bailed out. Look at the price action. What is it telling us? We had to get the hell out. So this was a good look. Just didn't quite get to the finish line. This is where, and this is when the lesson about not being disappointed for not getting the move. Because he was all distraught and disappointed about this. And when you get that way, you start to take stupid trades. And it's everybody, it happens to everybody, it happens to me when I get that way. All right, so we finished this, and now we're trying to establish above R1. I would not take this trade because we had the 50 here. Just didn't want to take it. And then we would have been falling back into this, channel. But it actually, started putting in another channel. So when you look at this, here's a new channel. Started making it higher. So we started looking at this, and then, we've got the UK markets opening, European markets opening, and look at what happens. It's just sitting here on the 20, and all of a sudden it wakes up, runs to R2, pulls back. We get another big push. Look how beautiful these candles are. They're not wicked out. So right here, as soon as we take the high, we're looking for a move to R3, then potentially R4. So this mentee will scale out like I do. So we took 2/3 off at R3. Took another piece off at took 3 contracts off R3, 1 contract off at 38.10, and then another one we put it at 38.15, just in case. But we were out. Okay, solid freaking trade. What do you think would have happened if he started trying to buy it back here? What do you think would have happened? Especially right here. You could have been patient and held through this. What if it happened back here? What if it happened back here? So that's what you got to be concerned about. Okay? So we waited, and this is what we learned. I can't teach this. This looks so easy right now. But when you're trading, you're going to ask yourself, how am I supposed to know when this is going to break out? There's no way of knowing. You got to read this. You got to read the price action. You got to watch what it does at these levels and know what to do if it fails like this again. If it goes up and it just starts trading here, you know to just get the hell out of it and wait. But again, we didn't go up. We didn't take this trade. Actually, we were done. He didn't trade anymore. Because, look at this. After this was a perfect trade. I forgot how much he made. But that was a perfect trade. And now, look at the channel going into the open. After this trade here, I kind of just drew this going into the open. I was, I think 8:30 or 9 o'clock when the last trader came in. But this was a channel we were looking at. All right. And so we were going to draw again. We've got to draw the 5-minute opening range. Which was, let's see, 9:30. Trying to think, having a hard time seeing. Having a hard time seeing this. But we drew the 5-minute opening range, which was, let's see, 38.13. I'm gonna draw that for you. 38.13. Sorry, I should have had this done already. $38.13. Oh, there it is. 38.13 was the opening range high. And then the opening range low was, oh, that was the low. The high is 38.1880. $38.1880. Okay. So sorry, this is just a longer video, but and this is the low. This is the low. Okay. On this chart, it's hard for me to find it, but I should have had it done all the way. So here's the 5-minute opening range. Put in, this is a candle right here. All right, 5-minute opening range. And you could see here, not a good, for me, this was not a good aggressive entry. Okay, even though it worked, it wasn't, I didn't like it because we went down here and we didn't really have an established, retest. Even though you could have said this bounced and retest, I was looking for a little bit more of a retest here. Maybe a candle showing green, but I didn't really want it. So we didn't take this trade. But we did, like, as an example, like, I didn't want to take this trade, but I did it as an example thinking that this was going to fail, but it actually didn't. It worked, but it's not a trade that I would have taken. So if it happened, if I see this again tomorrow, I still wouldn't take it. But this is what a lot of traders, this is a trap a lot of traders fall into. But it just so happened that this worked. And this was, this was a pretty decent trade, to be honest with you. But we waited and waited and waited and waited. And finally, we got the trade off of the 5-minute opening range low that we wanted. But by then, our session was over, long over. But he did text me back and say, hey, I got this, really right in the middle of me trying to get ready for this video. He texted me back and said, Ed, I did it. I drew the channel, which is right here. He said, I drew the channel in here. And I saw, we had some that dipped out and then ripped up, but didn't really give us the good trades. And then he saw the rejection. And we might have had some news that helped us sell a little bit harder than normal, but beautiful trade. So this was my day. And this just gives you an idea what a typical shadow mentoring session would be. We're going over, a lot of time is spent looking at and analyzing price action inside these channels, waiting for the right opportunity to present itself. Okay, now sometimes the right opportunity doesn't always work, like right here. This was only the second fail, and this was a nice sell. But it was quick. You would have had to take profit here, and it got bought right back up. And then next time, here we go again. But this time it stuck. But it's all about taking your time, understanding what you're seeing. And the only way you really can learn this and, learn it quickly is to work with somebody that actually knows what's happening, that has a really good idea of what this price action is doing, and then go forward. So again, if you want to, if you're interested, make sure you look me up. I've got maybe a couple of slots. Because this takes 2-3 hours, I don't have many spots. And again, it is lifetime. It is lifetime. Once you sign up, you get as many as you want. Like I said, I have one trader, the one at night. I worked with every night till he passed his test in 5 days last week. Now he's already in the profit. I mean, if he wanted to wire out tomorrow, he could. In the last 2 days. But, I'm not cutting him off because we've done it 7 trading days in a row. It's working. I'm just as excited as he is. Guys, you've got the opportunity. So hit me up. Shoot me a message on tradingperformancespecialist.com, or you can email me. My email will be in the description of this video. You guys have a great rest of the week, and I'll probably be back with one more of these on Thursday.